I'm so excited to be here on today. Y'all, guess what? It's day 23. Can you believe it? On our 30-day Get Your Life challenge, we are on day 23. It has been super fantabulous, absolutely amazing. So I'm so glad to be with you here on today on day 23. If you're joining me and you're here already, I want you to say hello in the comments. So glad to have you. Um, it's been phenomenal. I've been having some challenges with my Instagram feed, but we're going to move on into it. For those of you that are viewing for the first time and you don't know who I am, I'd love to introduce myself because I'd love to meet you. My name is Cheryl Thomas. I'm a minister, best-selling author, and certified Christian life coach. And here we talk about everything about getting your life all the way together, how to love yourself, how to invest in yourself, how to value your voice, and how to experience big fun. So whether you're on any of my social media channels, if you are on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Instagram, I'm at Cheryl Thomas Speaks on all three of those platforms. So welcome to our 30-day Get Your Life Challenge. We are on day 23. And you'll notice that for the last couple of days, we've been talking all about moolah, about money, getting our money all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way together. And today we're going to be talking about a subject that is near and dear to my heart, and that is fixing your credit. Fix your credit. That's what we're going to talk about on today. And when I say it's near and dear to my heart, because this is what I know. Hey, Comfort, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. Good to see you here. Yeah, this is one thing I know. Is that your financial picture matters in so many different ways. And why credit is so important to me and making sure that you fix your credit is that it matters in your life. I know a lot of people say cash is king, and cash is king, but credit is power. And I am so wanting the people in the body of Christ, all of us, to get our credit together, because when you go to make big purchases, and when I talk about big purchases, I'm talking about houses and cars and those kinds of things, you're going to need credit. Now, you may be able to save $20,000, $30,000 easily to be able to purchase a car, cash. But most people won't be able to save 200, 300, 400,000, however much you want to spend on a home. Most people won't be able to, in a good length of time, be able to save that kind of money. And so you will need credit to do that. And even if you follow some of our financial gurus, and they'll tell you where there are creative ways that you can finance a home, if you can save enough money to get your 20% down, then you can finance the rest. Well, you'll still need have interest on that amount that you finance. What is the interest rate going to be on that? So yes, you can save $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 for a down payment so that you can buy a home, so that it won't, it won't preclude you from getting one. But that other $200,000 is going to be on an installment loan that is going to have an interest rate. And if you don't have any credit, that interest rate is going to be higher, which means you'll pay more money in the long run. And if we are trying to make sure that we conserve and save all of our money, credit is going to matter. So I want you to fix your credit. I can remember several years ago, life happening to me. And here's the thing, when I used to work for a company and we used to help people restore their credit, and I used to try to help people, get their credit picture all together, they used to be really, really embarrassed about saying, hey, I have an issue with my credit. Life happened to me. Things aren't where I want them to be. And so what I kept running into were people that had shame around money, or shame around life happening and their financial picture not being where they wanted it to be. So instead of facing it, what a lot of people did was they pretended it didn't exist, or they kept putting it off. Well, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to not going to worry about my credit right now. But your credit is affecting so much, and it affects employment. Employers are checking credit histories now before they hire you. So it's not just, baubles and cars and that kind of thing that, your credit score affects. It affects so many areas in your life. So even if life happened to you like it did to me, and my credit score plummeted from a 700 and something to a 5 something, and I'm looking like, what? I needed to buy a car, but I couldn't buy a car because my credit was so poor. So see, I'm not a stranger to bad credit. I'm not a stranger to what it means to struggle and to try to get things together. But today I can say your girl is knocking at an 8. But that's all because I took time, energy, and effort, and I faced it. I stopped trying to push it aside. If you want anything to get better, you've got to face it. And so I faced it. And so what I want you to know is that there's so many things that are affecting your credit score that you may not know. And so I wanted to talk about those things on today, just to let you know so that you don't make those mistakes, because some things that you do, or there are some things that you can do right now to elevate your credit score to be better than it is right now. So you can always improve. Look at your neighbor and say, improve your credit score. And so one of the things, there are 5 factors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 factors that impact your credit score. 5 things. And so I'm going to go through those really briefly right now. Hey, April, thanks so much for joining. I appreciate you. So there are 5 things that impact your credit score. The number one thing that impacts your credit score is your payment history. Payment history. It's good to have you live too. Payment history. And what that means is pay your bills on time. That is the number one thing that is impacting credit scores, is payment history. That is 35% of your score. So if you are a day late, yes, it does matter. You might not get a late fee, but it is going to impact your credit score, which is your buying power, your purchasing power. So make sure that you pay your bills on time, even if you have to automate them so that you do not forget, because hey, we're human. There are times when we may forget. So automate them to pay early so that you'll never have to see that on your credit, or your credit is not affected if you don't pay it on time. So pay it on time. Just doing that, for those of you that are, you're paying them every month, but you're paying them late every month. You don't get a late fee, but you're like, well, sure, I pay it every month. It might be a little late. If you want to see almost an immediate uptick in your score, give 3 months and pay all your bills on time. It'll go up just by paying them on time, because that's the number one factor that affects your credit score, is your payment history. The second thing is the amount that you owe, and that is 30% of your credit score. The amount that you owe. How much credit do you have? So let's say you have 3 credit cards and all of them are $3,000. That means that is your credit capacity. That's the capacity that you have for a lender to give you money. How much do you owe? That affects your credit score. And I want to stop here just for a moment, because a lot of times when we have credit, we think that, oh, they gave me $1,000 limit on that, so I'm going to max it out. Back up. No, because this is something they don't tell you either, is that when you have a $1,000 limit, they're going to look at your utilization of that money. So 30% is the threshold for utilization. So if you have a $1,000 credit card, don't carry a balance of more than $300, because if you go over that, they are thinking, hey, she's cash poor. So that must mean she's in trouble. So that's going to negatively impact your credit score. I know you thought I got this $1,000 limit, so it doesn't matter if I've got $999 on it, I'm not over the limit. No, it is affecting your credit score. 30% or below on that utilization is what's going to help you. So another thing that will help you if you're trying to improve your credit score is to pay down your balances to make sure that it's under 30%. I would say go for 25% and under just to be safe, but at least 30% and under to make sure that you are under that utilization rate. So that's the second thing that impacts your credit score. The third thing is the length of your credit history. How long have you had credit? That's 15% of your credit score. Because here's what they're looking at. Have you had credit for a long time, and have you been trustworthy with that credit for a long time? So this is why generally older people have better credit scores, because they've had a longer history in their credit file. So for 20, 30 years, they've been having credit and they've proven to be trustworthy. So a bank is going to see them as not a big risk. If you are just starting out, these are my college kids, in your early 20s, yeah, they don't know if they can trust you yet. So you are a bigger risk. It's only 15% of your score. But remember, the longer that you have proven trustworthy, the better it is for you. So watch the length of time as well. And so let's go to number 4 is types of credit. And so when we talk about types of credit, which is 10% of your score, by that I mean revolving credit. Those are like your credit cards. That's revolving credit. Installment credit, that's like your car loans, your mortgages. Those are paid a certain amount every month. And so they want to see a mix of credit, that you have revolving credit, that you have lines of credit, that you have installment loans, and they want to see good payment histories on that. So the mix or the type of credit that you have matters as well. And so let's go to the number 5 on our list of 5 things that make up your credit score. And number 5 is new credit. That is applying for credit. So when you're in the market for cars, they give you a window to do shopping. But the best thing to do, especially if you're in the market for cars, because this is what they'll call inquiries on your credit. Now, you can get your credit report as much as you want, and it's not going to affect you. But when businesses seek out your credit report to see if you're worthy of credit for purchasing an item, that is going to affect your credit. So if you're in the market for a car, the best thing to do is to go secure funding first. So go to your banks, go to your credit union and say, hey, I'm looking to purchase a car. This is how much I want to spend. Let the bank pull your credit and get pre-approved. So that's only one inquiry on your credit history. And so then you can go to any car dealership and say, I'm in the market for a car. I don't want to spend more than this. I already have been pre-approved. So the car dealership is not going to be pulling your credit, because the bank that you're going to get that car loan from has already done that. So those are the 5 factors that go into making up your credit profile. And I'll go over those once again. So for those of you that jumped in late so that you can see them, the number 1 thing is payment history, paying your bills on time. That's 35%. The second one is the amount you owe. How much do you owe on your credit file? That's 30% of your score. The third thing is the length of credit history. How long have you had credit? That's 15% of your credit score. Then there is types of credit, your credit mix, installment loans, revolving credit. That's 10% of that score. And then lastly is new credit. How much are you trying, or how often are you trying to acquire new credit lines? That's 10% of the score. So make sure that you keep all of that information at hand. Thank you, April. I'm glad you're finding this beneficial. So make sure you keep this information at hand to make sure that you can watch your credit. Thanks. Leslie said great credit tips. So this is what I'm going to challenge you to do with this information. The first thing I'm going to ask you to do is get a copy of all three of your credit reports. There are three major credit reporting agencies that monitor and track your credit. That's TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. Um, you're allowed to get a free credit report from all three of those agencies at least once a year. So once a year, you can get all three of those reports free. So reach out to them, TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, and ask them for a copy of your credit report. If you have not done that already this year, do that this month. You can do it today. So get a copy of your credit report. Then I want you to go through that credit report and to make sure it is accurate. Look for inaccuracies in your credit report, whether it's the wrong address, the wrong person, wrong name. No, this isn't my, this shouldn't be on my file because I've never had credit from this company. And dispute every single thing that is incorrect. And this is why. Because if it's incorrect and it's on your credit report and you dispute it, they have, first of all, when you dispute it, they have 30 days to respond to you. If they do not respond to you within that time frame, they must take it off. So when you write them and say, hey, I'm disputing this line item because I never had a Sears and Roebuck credit card, and this is what you're saying, take this off. And I believe it's 30 to 45 days, if I'm correct, that they have to respond to you. And if they haven't responded in that time frame, they have to take that off of your credit report. If it's a misspelling, if it's the wrong address, whatever is incorrect on that, they must take that item, that listing off of your credit report. So after you get the credit reports, go over them, look for all the discrepancies. If you find them, then you find errors, dispute them so that you can get them off of your credit report. And so that's going to help you. The things that we talked about budgeting, when you get money in the bank and you have a great credit report or credit score, that's going to help your entire financial picture, because we want money and good credit working together in tandem. They are both going to help you move quicker, faster in your financial life. Because when your credit history is great, when you've saved up great money, you can make purchases like homes and not have it break the bank, because you'll have a good you'll have a good interest rate on that, and you won't be paying all this extra money. You can buy a car with 2% interest or no percent interest because your credit is great and they know they're going to get their money back, right? Right? So we want to make sure that we get our credit all the way together. I hope this has been helpful, and if it has, I want you, like we always say, I want you to share this with someone. Make sure that you don't keep all this goodness to yourself. Share it with someone so that they can have this information made available to them as well. And if you're on these social media platforms and you have not shared yet, or you have not liked either the Facebook page or followed me on my Instagram, or you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, what are you waiting on? Go ahead and do that now. I love you all with the love of the Lord, and it is always my joy. And so I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow. Have a great evening.